What's up, my friends? Welcome to the Live Wide Open podcast. I'm your host, Randy B. Ramirez, also known as Wide Open Randy, and I'm here to serve anyone who's looking to level up from their current situation. This show is dedicated to helping raise the bar for all the motorsport enthusiasts out there, those who want more out of life, those who want to do more, those who want to be more, those who love the thrill, the joy, and the connection of what these high performance engines bring into our lives. Because holding it wide open is just what we fucking do. Being a great freaking person is who we are, and living our life to the fullest is the lifestyle that we choose. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about MOTOvation Sundays, what they are, why we do them, and really just talk about the purpose behind, why we host these monthly group rides. And it just like, I'm going to take a little dive into my history and like talk about a little bit about my passion for motorcycles, because ever since I was a little boy, I always loved motorcycles. Like, I used to have this imaginary motorcycle my parents would tell me about, and I would freaking turn it on, I would kickstart it, I would rev it up, and I would run around the house and everywhere I was and pretending like I was riding my imaginary motorcycle. And that's truly just how much I loved motorcycles, how much I just grew up around them. Like, all my older brothers rode motorcycles, the family rode motorcycles, my mom rode motorcycles, and I just was born with them. Like, I feel like, gasoline runs through my blood, and I just grew up loving motorcycles. Since a little boy, I think my first motorcycle was not I think I know my first motorcycle was little Suzuki, a little 70. I remember riding that thing before like I couldn't even reach the floor. Like, my mom would tell me that I would come and I would stop on the grass and I would just fall over because I couldn't reach the floor, but yet I was riding. And that evolved into more motorcycles. And then when I graduated high school, when everyone was buying cars, I bought a motorcycle. I didn't have a car. I bought my first motorcycle, and it was, it was exciting. It was an experience. It was, I remember having to go to work and looking outside and seeing that it was raining, and then, hey, this is the choice I made. So I would put an extra bag of clothes in my book bag, extra shoes, and wrap it in some plastic bags, and let head out. I had to do what I had to do because I chose that lifestyle. And I enjoyed. I so much enjoyed riding motorcycles, and that evolved and that continued. And then what happened was that I decided on a certain point in my life that things were really going in a negative direction. As a general aspect of life, with how I was, with what I was doing, my mindset. I was just going down a bad path, and I decided to change my life around. And as part of changing my life around and getting my shit together, I decided to sell all my motorcycles. I sold my motorcycle. I sold anything that really much related to motorsports, because I was like, man, I had this thought process in here back then, and you do the best you can with the information that you know at the time, right? So I had this thought process that in order for me to become a grown, mature man and be the type of man that I thought I wanted to be, I had to get rid of all my toys. I had to get rid of what really lit my soul on fire, what brought joy to my heart, to my soul, what made me feel alive. And what ended up happening is that turned me into this fucking uptight, really just uptight, like this type of guy that like really forgot to live, forgot to do what he loved, forgot to just be passionate about his hobbies, about the things that he enjoyed. And it was just all about work. And well, yes, I did get ahead massively in life. I did, climb the corporate ladder. I did create a lot of success for myself. In the process, I became like empty. I became unfulfilled. I lost who I truly was inside, and got to a point where I actually remember it to this day. Like, I went to a friend's house. I was getting the exhaust done. I was getting actually a front bumper exit exhaust on my Camaro, and I was introduced to this guy, and I took my Camaro over there to change the exhaust from all the way from the back to make it coming out of the front, so that the turbo could breathe a lot more and make more power. And when I was picking it up, one of my other friends was there, and he had a motorcycle there, and he was like, "Hey man, you gotta ride the motorcycle. You gotta ride the motorcycle." And I was like, "No, no, no." He's like, "You gotta ride the motorcycle." And so sure enough, I went and I jumped on the motorcycle. Man, I had no helmet. I hadn't ridden in a long, long, long time. And that sparked this, that was like a match to awakening the little boy who lived inside of me, who lived so joyfully because of the love that he had for motorcycles. And I was like, holy crap, like I missed this so much. And that stayed in my head. And it wasn't like within a week or so, I started looking for motorcycles, and I found my Ninja in Orlando. I'm from Miami, for those who don't know. And I saw it, and I showed my wife, "Hey, look, I think I'm going to buy this motorcycle." And she's like, "Oh, but it's all the way in Orlando." And I was like, "Would you be down and come with me?" She's like, "Oh, well, we don't have a truck." And I was like, "Well, we go together, we go in your car, I buy the motorcycle, and I ride it home." And that's exactly what we did. And since then, that was the beginning of just the smile that it brings to my face, because motorcycles, I feel like they are truly part of me. I feel like that was something that needed to happen, and it revived this little boy inside of me that lived so joyfully. I don't even know if that's a word, but that freaking just had a smile on me all the time, and that evolved, right? And so motorcycles bring bonds, like they build bonds. Like you could, if you're a true motorcyclist, if you love the two wheels, if you share the passion for this, you know that you don't even have to know some people's names, and you'll know their motorcycle. Like you pull up somewhere and you're like, you immediately start talking to people, or you're at a red light, or you're passing someone on the other side and you wave, just because that's how the community is. Like riders support each other, and motorcycles build bonds. They bring bonds. They help like-minded people come together that share the same passion, right? The problem is that specifically stunt riders, they have like this lousy stereotype casted on us, like, and some people don't agree with what we do. Actually, a lot of people don't agree with what we do, and it's okay. Like, we don't agree with everything that everyone else does, and I truly believe that no one ever in our world will truly agree with what everyone else does. And that's why, it's important to just be a good person, do what you love, and fuck everybody else. Like, really, probably what it boils down to. Because um as long as you're being a good person, as long as you're doing what you love, as long as you have morals, ethics, values, I truly believe that you're living a good life. And so the real purpose behind Live Your Life Wide Open, that movement that I've created, is really to break that stereotype, to empower others, to empower you guys, to empower like-minded individuals like us that love motorsports, that share a passion for it, just really to do more, to be more, and to live more. Like that's what it's all about. And the Live Your Life Wide Open movement is all based on like pretty much 6 pillars, right? We work on our mind, we work on our bodies, we work on our spiritualities, our faith, we work on our relationships, we work on our businesses, our careers, whether you're an entrepreneur or an intrapreneur. Like, it all boils down to being able to provide for your family and making some good money and making a good living, right? Because that is what's going to end up being able to fund our passions, which passions is the last pillar, of the Live Your Life Wide Open movement. And so mind, body, spirit, relationships, business, and passions. I call it the six shift drive to thrive framework, And so I've been on this growth movement. I've been on this development journey, I guess you want to call it, for some time now, for several years. And what really just had me a little bit frustrated is that a lot of the guys, and there's a lot of girl riders too, but around where we kind of hang around with, it's mostly guys that ride. And a lot of guys don't really share, the mindset and the ideas of getting better, of growing. And I will put a caveat to that is a lot of the younger guys don't share that, because when I talk with the older guys that are my age and guys that are older than me, it's funny that like when we have these deep conversations, many of them are like, man, like if only I would have knew what I know now 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, I would be so much farther ahead in life. I would be killing the game. I would be making so much more money. I would be such a better person. And so when I started hearing all that and we started having these deep conversations, I started piecing two together. I was like, man, what if, we start, doing something to where we can do what we love and promote others to do more, to be more, to live life more passionately, and to help them save some time off their life so that they can do things faster than we have. And so that is really how this whole MOTOvation Nation has come about. And I'm not doing it by myself. I'm doing it with one of my best friends that I'm not going to say his name for now. I haven't got his permission, so I'm just going to say that he runs the page Miami Rides, and we have a strong relationship. We have a strong bond. We have a strong brotherhood. And my man we share very similar interests, very similar mindset on growth, on becoming better, on leveling up. And one day I reached out to him and I explained to him my vision. He has a very successful page that is growing on Instagram. And I was like, hey, we both are on this journey of self-improvement, on becoming the best that we can be. I know you have a badass page growing. I have my coaching business where we help others improve their life, to level up. Would you be down to do something together? Would you be down to collaborate? Would you be down to, we're always riding together. Why don't we start hosting a monthly ride to where we can encourage others to do more, to be more, and to live more, right? And so that's where the whole collaboration came about. And we named it, he actually came up with the name MOTOvation Sunday. And that's how it came about, right? And so the purpose really behind MOTOvation Sundays is to empower riders to not only become a better rider, but to improve all areas of their life. Your mind, your body, your spirituality, your relationships, your business, and most definitely our passions, because that's what's bringing us together. That's what brings, bonds. Motorcycles bring bonds. Excuse me. So, it really what boils down to, right? So the purpose behind it is to help empower others, to bring us together, because we always ride all the time. And very few of us talk about growth. Very few of us talk about improvement. Very few of us talk about, developing ourselves to become the best that we can be. And so now we're hosting these monthly rides. And actually this coming Sunday, you guys are going to see this episode. It comes out tomorrow. I always film it ahead of time, and it comes out tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. And this Sunday, we're going to be hosting ride number 3, right? And so we're going to be hosting this ride, but the whole purpose behind it is to encourage everyone to fucking level up. Yes, let's ride, let's come together, let's improve our riding skills, let's become better riders, let's push the limits, let's do wild shit that we all love to do. But at the same time, before the ride and after the ride, and when we stop for take breaks, let's talk about how you're doing in life. Let's talk about how your mindset. Let's talk about, how is it that you're, feeding your body. Like, you got to build muscles, you got to build strength to be able to throw these motorcycles around. And then our spirituality, our faith, you got to have some freaking faith that things are going to work out when you're doing these crazy tricks, because, man, things could go wrong and could go south very, very fast. And so the relationship aspect comes because we're building the community. And then we come and we talk about business because, unfortunately, not a lot of riders make good money, and we're here to encourage others to make more, to be the generational change in your family that changes it, that sets your foot and that draws the line in the sand and says, yo, we are gonna level up. From now on, we're gonna make more money. From now on, we're gonna be a better person. From now on, we're gonna set the fucking example on how men like us and even women um, are live their lives. We live our lives wide open. We hold it wide open with everything we do, you know, everything. And so motorcycles build and bring bonds, right? And because the reason why I said that is because, if you've ever rode, if you don't ride, then you probably wouldn't understand that. But those of you that ride know that riding brings this sense of freedom. And not only freedom, but an adventure. Like for me, I put my leg on a motorcycle, over a motorcycle, man, I feel like happy. I feel joyful. I feel like I'm at home. And so for me, it really, truly, genuinely brings a sense of freedom and adventure to my life. It all comes from riding motorcycles. Not everyone shares this passion, and it's okay. I don't share a passion for sports like football, soccer, baseball. Like that doesn't vibe with me. For me, I vibe with anything that has a motor. Like I'm a gearhead. I'm a motorsport enthusiast. I love that. So we're here to talk about how we can bring some of that, more of that, into our lives. And so the thing that I wanted to point out is that motorcycles, when you ride and when you push the limits and when you're about evolving yourself as a rider, and not only as a rider, but in all aspects of your life, all that shit requires focus. It requires for you to have some discipline. It requires for you to have, some good decision making skills so that you don't fuck up, so that you don't end up on the ground, so that you don't get injured. And I think back about the times that I've had a lot of injuries, that I've had all my injuries, and I had lost focus. Around the times that I mostly had my injuries, my decision making skills weren't too good because I was just not in the game. I was not playing to win. I was distracted, and I had a lot of injuries. Last year I broke my scapula in half. Before that, I broke my leg. Cracked it in half, bone popped out. Before that, I've broken this ribs with internal bleeding. Before that, I've broken this ribs with internal bleeding. I've had a lot of accidents. But to me, those are not accidents. Those are battle wounds. Those are lessons that have made me a better rider. The man I am today. And I wouldn't change them because they're fucking battle scars and they're modifications to my body. Like I have a titanium rod, I have a plate and screws, and for me, those are modifications. Those are mods that I add to my body because I don't like to keep anything stuck. So that's how I like to look at things. And so when you ride, when especially when you're in big group rides, it's and I'm going to take that a step back. When you ride, period, you always have to be on the defensive. Like you can't ride on the offensive because people don't see you, and most of the time people see you and they don't care and they'll move you over, and because the car will always win, and so you always got to be on the defensive. You gotta stay calm under pressure, because you got to be able to navigate a lot of these difficult situations that are going to come up as a rider. And the cool thing about it is that when you're able to master that, when you're able to really elevate yourself in those areas, it also translates to your life, to your everyday life, to the things that we do on a daily basis. So it's important to stay calm. It's important to really talk yourself. And I do this all the time. I've been riding for over 30 years. And my mind will fuck with me if I let it. Like I'll go and before do some tricks or do a wheelie or whatever, my mind will start flashing back memories of my accidents and if I'm not intentional, that shit will fuck my confidence up. And when that happens, I say no. And I always remind myself, Randy, you've been riding for 30 plus years. You have a lot of experience. You're a professional motorcycle rider. Like you got this. And I literally talk myself through so that I can remain focused. And then when the pressure builds, I'm intentionally breathing and doing breathing exercises so that I don't run out of breath, so that I don't get all like out of center, because when you forget to breathe, that's when things start going south. And it's so easy to forget to breathe when you're doing a lot of these technical tricks. And so I like the challenges that it brings. I love the challenges that becoming a better rider comes with. And the awesome thing about it is that all translates to improving your life, to becoming a better person, right? And so if you want to surround yourself with like-minded people, if you want to surround yourself with people who share similar passions as you, people who want to level up, people who have goals, people who just not only want to become a better rider, but who want to become better in life. Join us. Join us this Sunday. We're doing ride number 3 of MOTOvation Sunday, March 10th, and we're going to be all gathering in Miami. And contact me, and I'll share the details. I'll share where it's at, and we can just come together and we can evolve and we can talk growth, and then go put in some fucking work, because that's what we love to do. We're passionate about it. We love the 2 wheels, man. So, and it doesn't matter what motorcycle you ride. If you ride a scooter, if you ride a Grom, if you ride a Harley, if you ride a sport bike, whatever you ride, every motorcycle is welcome. We're not here to judge. We're not here to say, oh, you're not allowed here. Nah, we're here to bring the community together and to show and to empower everyone to fucking level up, to do more and be more. That's what it's all about. So, my friends, I'm driving the checkered flag deep into the ground, and I'm calling out all the motorsport enthusiasts who want to improve their situation. Let's break free from all the shit that's been holding us back and prove to the world that we are truly some fucking badass motherfuckers. Those of you who made it to the end of the episode, I want to say that you got yourself a win, and I truly appreciate you for investing your valuable time into the Live Wide Open podcast. This movement is called Live Your Life Wide Open, and helping others improve is the mission that God has tasked me with. We are driven individuals, breaking the fucking stereotype and working on becoming the best that we can be. Join me on this journey while we help as many motorsport enthusiasts as possible to create the best lives that we can imagine. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you never miss another episode. You can follow me on my Instagram. My handle is WideOpenRandy. Man, and if you felt any connection to today's message, I genuinely ask that you please share this on your stories, because those are the actions that truly help us spread the message. I'll catch you guys on the next episode, and I hope to see you out this Sunday for the MOTOvation ride. But till then, guys, live your life wide open, my friends. Peace.